Hi, this is Mimi. Welcome to Tarot Cards for Humanity. This is going to be the week for September 19th, Monday, through September 23rd, including the final end of retrograde for Mercury on the 22nd, thank heavens. This will include the Tetragrammaton, and then I'm going to do 3-card triad pull for Monday, Tuesday, 3-card triad pull for Wednesday, Thursday, and 3-card triad pull for Friday into Thursday, Friday into Friday evening. In addition to that, I'm going to do a archetype oracle card for each of those triads too, and I'll do them as we're on there. So thank you for joining, and we'll get started with the Tetragrammaton. I am using the Gilded Tarot. Whoop, the Gilded Tarot. There we go, the Gilded Tarot. All right. Just adjust this because yeah, that's better. Alright, so Tetragrammaton, we being the Fool are represented, so we want to see where we lie, what Kabbalistic world we lie, and in what position as we are the Querents, the Humanity, the Fool on our journey through the major arcana. So, let's see what we got. Oops. Butterfingers. Yetzirah. Absolute, Yetzirah, Bria, and Asya. So we're looking for the Fool. We're not in Absolute, home of fire, will, spirituality, movement, action. Let's try Bria, home of intuition, love, romance, relationships, spiritual love, but intuition and dreams as well, the unconscious. So, are we here? Nope, we are not here. Now we're moving on to Yetzirah, world of logic, intellect, communications, academia, possibly learning a new skill, getting certified, getting a degree, things like that. There we are. We are upright in Yetzirah, which is quite surprising considering Mercury is in retrograde and he being the planet of messaging between the gods and humans. The fact that he's in retrograde and we're upright in the world of Yetzirah, which is kind of home of communication and logic, that is good, actually. So this is good. This means we're engaging our heart as well, but at this point in time, and more importantly, we are engaging our head. Cool, smooth logic of Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, particularly Aquarius. So not detached necessarily, but using that basic instinct. Not necessarily always intuition and gut, but the facts, just the facts. Seeing things for what they actually are, and also paying attention to those little hints here and there that lies can cover up sometimes. You know, very gifted manipulators and liars can cover things up. So we're looking at everything. We're considering every possible motivation. That's wonderful, and we should continue to do that. Again, I've said this before, but I'm going to state it again. This is an election year, and they're trying to lead us around by the nose. So discern your facts like a scientist. Okay? All right. Now, keeping that energy in mind, let us get on with Monday, Tuesday. Couple more here. He says no. Pull up the astrological aspects real quick here so we can kind of do a side-by-side comparison. Bear with me. Okay, thanks. Forgive me. I wanted to pull up some astrological aspects for today, Monday, and Tuesday, tomorrow, September 19th and the 20th. There's not a lot of movement on Monday, actually. Most notable that is happening is Venus aspecting to Neptune, and that's in 25 degrees of Libra, 10 degrees of Pisces, in the morning. And in this aspect, you might be agitated. You might feel as though you're in turmoil. You might feel as though you labor harder than anyone else. This is not necessarily true. It just means keep it all into perspective. This is possibly just a feeling, particularly with the eclipse energy that's still going on. Also, let's see what else is happening. Oh, then also the moon is sextile to Neptune. When that happens, that's emotions and dreams meeting the planet of emotions and dreams, water versus water, and everything's in Pisces right now, so that's more water. So you might get confused, you might be thinking things over too much, maybe you're thinking things to death as it relates to something that's occurred in your life. Try to put it out of your mind, get some sleep on it, journal your dreams, and see what Spirit tells you through the images in your dreams, because you'll probably find the answer there. This is something that needs to be handled intuitively. Tomorrow, there are several trines tomorrow. I think there's 3 or 4. There are 4 trines on tomorrow, Tuesday, 9/20. And that's wonderful, very positively aspected, is a very possible aspect. Positive aspect. A trine is a very positive aspect. So it looks like something good is going to happen. Excuse me, and let me turn that off. One moment, because it will not stop. Okay, here we are again. So talking about those trines tomorrow, Tuesday, the 20th of September. There are 4 of them, and it's good. It's very positive. So with the moon being trine to Pluto, you're also going to feel sometimes maybe a little bit left over of tonight's feeling of perplexing questions, still maybe perhaps not 100% sure on what you should do on certain situations. You're not clear on things, and again, look to your intuition. Of course, logic. Again, we saw the Fool and Yasura, so we always need to engage the heart-mind, but the heart-mind really is the same thing, particularly if you truly listen. Listen with your spiritual ear. Listen with a bigger picture in mind. And don't be hypnotized by, what's the word I'm looking for here? Don't be hypnotized by the play. Remember, this is all a play. This is all not real, actually. Everything is governed by spirit and energy. So this candle, these cards, my hands, this camera, these crystals even, are not really real. They come from a source. The source is the highest source, energy, God self. We are God self. And the fact is that it could change at any time. It could disappear at any time. It could return to its original form. There's so much that we don't know. So in that, when you feel perplexed and puzzled tomorrow, again, with that trine, it's not a bad thing. It is actually a time to let your wonder take over. Use that fool, with logic, the heart and mind engaged, and use that fool mentality to really consider everything. Use your intuition. See things outside of the normal, everyday, day-to-day way that we view things. What else is going on tomorrow? Okay, then later on in the day, there are 2 trines occurring that will allow you to have a deep understanding. So whatever questions or perplexing situations that you're in tomorrow, at a certain point in the late morning, right through to the afternoon, you're going to find some expression and some deep insight into that. You're going to find both verbal confirmation of something, and in addition to that, you'll get a spiritual message of some kind, confirming all these questions that you've had over the last 2 days. In that, think about it, because you have the opportunity of clear expression, despite it being Mercury retrograde, take advantage of that. So if you have something to say, of course, think about what you're going to say. Think with your mind, heart, compassion, and logic. But it is a good time to do that sometime around afternoon tomorrow, to say something, to express something, or to share something. So if you're wanting to tell somebody that you love them or that you're in love with them, tell them. But wait till you got it all sort of planned out in your head. Also, we have Mercury trine to Pluto. That's at, what is that? It's at 14 degrees Virgo and Capricorn in the evening. And this gives the gift of brilliant speech. So Mercury's the talker, right? If you know a Gemini, you know what I mean. And Pluto is insight. Deep, deep. Again, I think I've talked about it before. Unearthing, digging deep, researching, thinking of all angles, insight. So you're going to not only have the ability to dig deep and find answers and find possible connections with things, logical explanations to things, or illogical, maybe come up with philosophies, but you'll also be able to express them succinctly, unlike myself. You will be able to express that information that you've unearthed using Pluto at that time with this trine in a brilliant way. So take advantage of that clear ability to use the mind, dig deep, and express it to someone else, that you get your point across, and perhaps you both learn from something. This could also mean not just speaking, you could write this as well. So if you're writing a book or you're writing a blog, wait maybe till the evening tomorrow night to get a full flow of that energy, of that trine's energy. And then finally, at the end of the day, the moon will be trine with the sun, which is a beautiful, harmonious way to end the day. Very positive. Sun is positive, the moon is positive in a different way. They're just opposite ends of the spectrum. It's a balance in a way. That's 120 degrees of, it can be bliss. So really take advantage of that if you're, maybe take some time alone at home. All right, so let's get into the cards. This is for Monday, Tuesday. Let's see if, let me check something here. I'm going to stop this a million times. Yeah. Let's see if these cards line up with the astrological aspects for tomorrow. Today and tomorrow. Okay. So we got, let me show you. We got the Tower in reverse, which is fire. We've got the Nine of Wands in reverse, also fire. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles in the upright position. So what this is telling me, as the Tower usually does, it's talking about massive change that you don't have a lot of control over. However, whatever this, well, I say massive, that's very melodramatic, but it is a change that is out of your normal routine. So it may be a way that you do your job, that's going to change, but it actually is going to be for the better. It's going to be in a harmonious change. So the Nine of Wands, typically in its upright position, is going to be about being defensive, holding on to your defenses for a very long time, yet in fatigue and tired, holding on to something. You're going to let that go. When you hold on to an old battle or an old something you're angry about, you're going to let that go. And when you do, when you let that go, The Tower in reverse is allowing you to, it's basically you're ready to move on from whatever cataclysm that the change from this will cause. So whatever you're afraid of happening if you do forgive, or whatever you're afraid of happening if you do break up with someone, or something along those lines, whatever, the worst of it's actually already happened. The upheaval of your life has already really occurred, whether it's the hurt of a relationship or the loss of a job or what have you. It's already happened. And now we're looking at new opportunities. Now this is a pentacle, it's in the upright, and it's ace. That's 100% pure source of earthly energy. And so basically this is saying whatever resulted from here, and I'm thinking this is possibly more job, career, money related, not so much necessarily relationship, but it, again, because finances are related with relationships, it could have something to do with it. This is the beginnings of, with pentacles, this would be the beginnings, this would be health, what else? Wealth, your things, your physical world, things that are established in Malkuth. That have been manifested, physical things, like we were talking about earlier. So this would mean that whatever occurred here, whatever you were holding on to, and that you have let go because you've been through the worst of the pain, there's something waiting for you that is greater. Let's say you quit smoking. Let's say you've been smoking for many years. You smoke and smoke and smoke, and you can't stop. You're scared to death, perhaps, to stop. You're afraid you're going to gain a lot of weight. But you've made the decision, I'm going to do it, I've gone through the worst of it, the worst of it's been the sickness that goes along with it, and you're going to find that now you have something new coming to you, something better, a new start, a pure new energy that in the situation I gave it would be health. Okay? So, let's see if that related in any way. This could be the Nine of Wands in reverse, could be the confusion that you're feeling on Monday evening, Monday day, and into Tuesday morning with the planetary aspects the way that they are. And if it's related to that, just know that right around that time frame on, what was it, Tuesday around noon? Yeah, all the planets seem to be aligning with all of those trines on Tuesday, so you're going to release whatever that is. And then, of course, I think this will be the wonderful opportunity to express, whether it's in writing, whether it is in dance, exercise, speaking, whatever is intellectually or philosophically being dug up by all that activity in Pluto, that Pluto trine with Mercury, the talker. And also, lastly, this is also the great example of the end of the day, a harmonious, beautiful day with the moon and sun trine. So that's wonderful. Everybody hates the Tower, but in fact, in this position, I think it's a very good read. All right, let's really quickly, because I am just talking up a storm here today. I'm going to try to get a, an oracle from the archetypes. Kind of additional message can we get in the archetypes, Jungian archetypes, that might sum up the information that we're getting from the cards and from the astrological aspects. What can we learn here? There we go. Here's one. All right, we got the Samaritan, and we got it upright. So with the Samaritan, let me show that card to you. Samaritan, just like all archetypes, there is a shadow and a light side to it, just like everything. There's duality in everything. With the Samaritan, because we got it in the upright position, we're going to be paying attention to the light attribute. The light attribute for the Samaritan is refine your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. So this might be a clue to that confusion that you're worried about, that you're trying to figure out, that you're using your intuition so deeply. That that activity on Monday when the moon is sextile with Neptune, causing confusion with feelings and with logic and with drama, the natural instinct to force our ego on something. In this case, it's saying when you may not want to, maybe you would like to have, maybe it's in your best interest, not only for the person, but for your personal growth, to help someone you'd prefer not hang around with. So that could also be into Tuesday when you're having that dig deep with Pluto, and then with Mercury trine to Pluto, you're able to succinctly express how you feel. This might be the person that you need to express that to. It could be as simple as hey, I love that dress, even though it may be ugly. Okay? All right. So that's what we got for Monday. Monday and Tuesday, excuse me. Let us move along to Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, what do we need to look out for Wednesday and Thursday? So now, when we move into the astrological aspects, on Wednesday, the moon enters Gemini, probably in the early hours of the morning. As I was saying earlier, with Mercury ruling Gemini, Geminis are speakers. In fact, they're kind of very animated storytellers. They're content. I don't think that they lie, but they do they're very entertaining. They're very fun. Geminis are very fun. Okay. And since they do love to talk and converse, and they are quite intelligent, with that, it's the moon being our big amplifier right now, particularly with all the lunar activities. The moon entering into Gemini means that you might have more sociability. You might be more likely to talk to someone than when you normally would have been shy. Excuse me. You might also find that you are wanting to dig deeper on subjects that perhaps you didn't want to before. You want to know more, and then you want to express more, and you want to share that knowledge. So that's great. Gemini is a great sign. It's intellect, it's fun, it's pretty cool logic, pretty relaxed, kind of easy breezy. In addition to that, the moon is trine with Jupiter a little later in the morning, and that will affect the late morning and early afternoon. And that should make you feel very confident, very outgoing, larger than life. Jupiter's in Libra anyway, so you want to be careful right around this time. You don't boast. Don't be pushy, and just check yourself. Make sure that you are expressing as you would intend under normal circumstances. So just like when you've had too much to drink one night, you don't have to call the next morning and say, what did I do or say? Jupiter has that tendency. When it's trine with the moon, it is a very good, trining again is a very positive aspect, but that confidence could come across the wrong way. So since it's a work day, just make sure you're not going off the mouth too much. All right, then later, the moon is going to square to Neptune. This is not a great aspect, particularly since it's going to be opposing Saturn at that time. Saturn's the taskmaster, Neptune is the drama queen, and the moon just sort of is the antenna that amplifies everybody. So when it's squaring and opposing Saturn, it's a warning to say that something that you say or do could come back and bite you in the ass. So let's say it's instant karma. Let's say at lunch, when you are enjoying that moon and Jupiter action, feeling so confident, let's say you see something really stupid. And this is the time later in the day, though probably I'd be after work, but it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. So be wise with that. Okay, so that's Wednesday. And then Thursday, hallelujah, Mercury goes direct. We are out of the retrograde, so electronics should be back and working again. You'll probably get a ton of messages flooding in on your phone that were intended from a week ago. So that's great. Mercury will resume direct and be heading into Virgo, and Mercury in Virgo is very happy, actually. Let's see. That also puts a summer retrograde to an end, so I think we might have one more retrograde later. What else have we got? Now, also the Sun enters Libra. That's the home. Libra, again, is relationships, friends, the home of diplomacy, the guy that kind of gets along with everything, the gal that kind of gets along with everyone, likes everyone to be happy. When the Sun enters that sign, that's wonderful. That really illuminates it. It brings balance to your relationships. It brings harmony. This is in the morning on Thursday. So that's a wonderful energy to enjoy. Autumn will be coming, and you'll start to feel the cooling of the season. You'll start to maybe have cooled down some anger you might have experienced over the summer. A little bit later, you might want to be careful when, let's see, it's around, it's the late afternoon, well into the evening. The moon will be sextile with Uranus, and at that time as well, the moon is opposing Mars. So respectively, this is a time where you need to avoid being over impulsive. Uranus is the anything can happen planet. So when the moon, again, the antenna, is in connection with the anything can happen planet, you don't go bungee jumping. Nothing against bungee jumping, but just don't do anything crazy. Be careful. Think things through. And in addition, with the moon opposing Mars at that time, you want to stay out of trouble. So Mars being the war god, the warring planet, and Uranus being the anything goes planet, and the moon kind of sextile to one and opposing the other amplifies both energies. Again, be careful of that shooting off at the mouth type of thing. Be careful that you don't take any crazy action or say anything crazy that could have big ramifications. Those energies are definitely there. So that's Thursday. All right, so that covers Thursday in the evening and in the day, as well as the whole day on Wednesday. All right, so let's see what the cards say. Seconds. So sorry, this is getting to be very long. Let me get this down one of these days. I just can't find my aspect carrying the little pocket lines. I just can't seem to find it, so I'm using the one on my computer. And I have to switch back and forth. All right. Ta-da! 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 Okay. So we have, in the middle, in the upright position, the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is called Ruin in the Thoth deck, and it's generally known as absolute crap. It's feeling that you have been stabbed in the back. Now you're flanked here by the Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the Hanged Man. So with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, excuse me, Queen of Pentacles, no, I'm sorry, not the Queen of Pentacles, excuse me, the Nine of Pentacles. This is of the card that's of home, self-autonomy, wealth, personal wealth, your home, your stuff, your things, your independence, your own little world that you built. Sometimes you make that world like a fortress and you become lonely. With it in reverse, this is something that you're bringing on yourself. You are actually cutting yourself off from people. With this Mercury activity and with the moon going into Gemini, this is actually a really good time to not go into yourself. Move away from this, because as you can see, the Ten of Swords is a very depressing card, but it's also a bit of a melodramatic card. You know, mountains out of molehills type of thing. It's so bad. It's just ultimately very bad. It's a 10, so the worst of it's probably over, whatever it is. But it is self-created. You've created a little hole for yourself, a little beautiful world that's a fortress, but you're there alone. So this is inviting you to say, if you don't like the situation where you are feeling alone with all of your cool stuff and things, perhaps take this bad feeling that you're getting, this horrible drama queen, this is the worst feeling, and it's a bad feeling. Take that and move on from it. Think about, why are you motivated to do that kind of thing? That could be the Pluto that's unearthing the information that you're going to be deciphering, later. That could also be, the logic of Gemini sort of coming into play. This could be, the moon squaring Mercury. This could be the moon sextile Uranus. And all of this energy here is self-created. You have control over it. It is almost over. But now take the time to think about, with the Hanged Man in the upright position, what do you want? Do you want a full social life? Or do you want to be a social butterfly? Are you more of a homebody, but say you do want to have some kind of social activity? But this, I feel strongly that this has to do with you cutting yourself off from the world, putting more emphasis on stuff and things and money. I'm guilty of this as a Capricorn. And finding that you're lonely, that it's self-created. Oh, woe is me, I'm so sad. Let's give this some deep, deep thought. Let's use some intuition, keep a dream journal, meditate. Why are we doing this? Why are you doing this? We live in a culture that pushes this kind of thing where you kind of go off by yourself. But it doesn't have to be that way. Why? Why are you doing it? What's motivating you? And how can you move beyond that for your own good, for your best good, for the good of everyone? All right. Wednesday, Thursday, let's pull another archetype card. This is going to be very long. I mean, I've got to figure out how to do this. What else can we learn with all these extensive energies, including the end of retrograde? So no more misunderstandings and electronic failures and etc., mishaps, electronic and technical mishaps. What can we learn from all the heavy activity Wednesday and Thursday, both good and bad? What can we learn? Wow, I'm going to go with Rescuer. So we got Rescuer in the upright position. So that means we're going to be using the light aspect. Provides strength and support to others in crisis. Acts out of love with no expectation of reward. So, despite how lonely you're feeling because you did it to yourself, you closed yourself off with all your stuff and things, maybe the best way to contemplate this and to move beyond why you do this here, this negative thing that you do, is to look beyond yourself and how can you help someone else? Because the fact is, if you're busy helping another person, you have no time to think about your sorrows. Since you're looking to get out more, perhaps your thinking will find, your logic and your investigation is going to find the best way to do it is actually to help another. Okay, so that is Wednesday, Thursday. God, is this going a long time. All right, moving on. Let's do Thursday and Friday. Well, Thursday we pretty much covered, so we're just going to talk about Friday now. So today is going to be a weird day. There's been a lot of activity, last day, the previous day, later in the day. The moon was sextile to Uranus, which is the anything goes planet, along with opposing Mars, which is the war god. So basically on the 23rd, Friday, you might have a lot of mixed signals, despite us being out of retrograde with Mercury being direct at this point. You might get a lot of mixed signals. You might get the feeling that you're hearing one thing, but it's something else is being said, or perhaps you're expressing one thing and something else is being understood. The moon is also entering Cancer, its home sign, and that's going to be in the early hours, as well as the mixed signals from the trine. So basically, there's going to be two trines: Mercury trining Pluto. That's again talking about the stuff you've unearthed. That's the Mercury trine Pluto, and then also the moon is going to be trine Venus, and that's about emotion, love, relationships, beauty. How we relate to others. That's the early hours. Then the moon is going to pop itself over into Cancer. And once it's in Cancer, its home sign, you're going to start looking at things around your house like most Cancers do, nesting things. So maybe you want to redo your home. Maybe you want to do a deep clean of your home. That fall and spring deep clean that you do, get in the nooks and crannies. And then later in the day, right around the end of the day, around 9 p.m., unless you're going out and having fun, the moon is the moon is trining Neptune. Now, Neptune can be a drama queen. Neptune can be about heavy-duty emotions, ego sometimes, not always, but it is also very aware, intuitive. It is the ruler of Pisces, the ruling planet of Pisces. So when the moon is trying being a positive aspect, you're looking probably at things that are dreamy. Maybe it's a good time to get creative, maybe sketch, Maybe think about a book that you're writing. Perhaps you could carry on with the decorating that you're doing early in the day when the moon hits Cancer. But yeah, continuing on with the creativity, or get a good night's sleep, because the intuition will be flowing. That portal from the unconscious into the conscious is going to be very, very clear. Take advantage of that. Sorry. Take advantage of that and get a good night's sleep. Make note of your dreams. Keep that journal by your bed, and even the weird stuff, you know, the Humpty Dumpty talking to your uncle who's wearing hosiery. You know, the weird stuff. All right, enough with the shuffling. Boom. Hey, there's another. Wow. Interesting. That's a lot of earth. Okay, Pentacle cards, all three. This is for Friday, mostly Friday, and into Thursday. In the middle, we have the Page of Pentacles. So if you recall, on the Monday, Tuesday section, we were going to get a new start to something. No matter what it was, we were letting go of something that was hurting us, whether it was something we were angry about, and then the Tower in reverse was us letting it go, literally learning the lesson, and then a new thing, the Ace of Pentacles showing its face. Well, here are the Pentacles again at the end of the week. Page of Pentacles means there's some kind of message coming through, some kind of communication is going to be coming through to you of, in the upright position, something very positive, something in the earthly realm. Could be health, could be finances, could be stuff and things, could be your stock is worth more than it was, but it's good, whatever it is. It's an upright position. That message is good. You're flanked, in addition to more earth, you're super earthy right now. We are flanked by the Queen of Pentacles. She is sort of the, she's the water of earth, but she's also the feminine of earth. Earth is a feminine energy anyway, but, I mean, element. But she is definitely about that. She's the one that says, come here, honey, and talk to me about that. These are the nurses, the really good patient moms that will make you feel comfortable and warm. These are nice people. Now, over here, you're also flanked by the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles generally means wealth, and it means, in the upright position, it means wealth. In the reverse position, it usually means either the lack of wealth or the loss of wealth. So this communication here may be something to do with your investment, and you took a wrong turn, and it was not a good result. This could be some message of information about your health, and then that information perhaps turned out to be wrong. But I'd like to get some clarification on this, because all this good stuff here, and then to lose it would be a real drag, because you are getting information, you're getting something as a result of letting that stuff go in the earlier part of the week with those cards. And that's all earth-related based on the Ace of Pentacles. So let's see what this Ten of Pentacles means. I'm going to look for a clarifier from the tarot, and then I'm going to pull our... What do we mean with this? What does this mean? The Ten of Pentacles. Are we losing the money? What does this mean? Are we losing what we've gained? Is there a chance we could lose what we've gained? Five of Wands. Oh, okay. So with the Five of Wands, and this is what I think is clarifying it, whatever you're letting go of over here with this scenario, you know, you carried this a long time, you're letting it go. The Tower, it's up, it's changing you, you know, you've already been through the worst of it, but you are letting it go and learning from it. Something new is going to come from it. This Five of Wands is about strife and upheaval and imbalance. Could be about arguments and things like that. So either you're letting go of an argumentative nature, particularly with the Wands connecting with the Nine of Wands, and the rest being Earth. I believe that you are letting go of some tendency, either some anger, or some entangled situation or relationship. You're letting that go. And when you do that, you will find healing. Now, with letting that go, it could be you breaking up with someone in a very, you know, this may be a very tumultuous relationship. And at first you might feel the earth from underneath you moving. You might, feel a lack financially. You might feel like your stuff's all out of order because you have to move or something like that. But this is kind of telling me that because you're moving on from whatever that situation is that you've been holding on to unhealthfully. And I'm sorry this is going so long. These wands here are kind of reconfirming that this is going to be the feeling that you'll have because of the message, something that you're going to learn as it relates to that, letting go. And it's a good thing, though. The reason that this is happening is because of the strife, of the imbalance, of the anger and agitation that you're feeling as a result of this either relationship that you're leaving or this mannerism that you have, this trait that you have. Whew, that was long. Let's get an archetype card. Hello, puppy. Hello, you, Mr. Mustachio. My puppy came for a visit. What is it? Gotta concentrate. What else do we need to know as it relates to this, leaving this situation, this tumultuous relationship? Interesting. Femme fatale in reverse. So we all know what a femme fatale is. We're getting in reverse, which means it's the shadow aspect. Inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money, and power. That makes a lot of sense actually for the whole reading. So I'm going to recap real quick. We've been doing this shadow aspect. This is us. Okay? So going back here, we've been holding on to something. Perhaps it's a way of being. Perhaps we're being coquettish or coy, or we're manipulating people. It's a way that we got power, but we're letting that go because it's the best thing. Something new is going to come from it. We're used to this. It's not helping us. We've built this world around us, maybe as a result of being manipulative and cold. So we're letting that go. It hurts a bit. We're worried we're going to get hurt now that we're not allowing to manipulate anybody else. But we're going to use this insight that we take from this situation and grow from it intellectually and spiritually. And then finally, with the Queen of Swords, meaning you can hold on to good things and sensuality and home and things like this. But it is important to remain open to messages that will help you move on from the agitation, from the internal strife that you're causing, or the strife of a relationship that's related to this. And this is why you might feel a bit of upheaval. And this all goes back to this ego, this egotistical nature that we have with the femme fatale. In the upright position, light attributes include highlights the erotic energy of the feminine and opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. However, any appropriate use of this sensuality, attachment to money, and power means that you think that the only way you can get the things that you need is with your, I'm going to say, womanly type wiles, but because this could be any gender or no gender, it's a feminine way, using beauty. You think that this is all that you have, but in fact you have so much more. You think children or manipulation are the only way you can do things. But you don't. There's so much more that you can provide, and you can do it for yourself. You don't have to use another. Wow, that was so much information and so long. If you stuck with me, I'm really surprised. My apologies for the delay. I'll be back, hopefully shorter, on Friday. And thank you very much for watching, if you did. And enjoy your week. Take care.